Well, yesterday late in the night, we broke a story that Thomas Partey has suffered an injury, and we never got the details of which type of injury Thomas Partey is going to hate to suffer and for how long Thomas Partey is going to be out for. But today morning, I landed on with these stories coming in from some credible sources of Arsenal as concerning to Thomas Partey. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. It's a Sunday and it's the 3rd of September, and I have some good news for you guys. We are left with only 30 subscribers to hit 17,000 subscribers. So guys, if you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is a place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this YouTube channel of ours, that is the Rokani Media Football. We are into the Arsenal news show because today there is a big one, United versus Arsenal, and these stories are really huge because we are bringing you the Thomas Partey injury update as followed up by Mikel Arteta telling Arsenal fans about why they should obviously calm down and not criticize the players. He has given references that we have criticized before, and we're gonna hit the ground running, and they're some of your most loved players at the club of Arsenal. So you need to take this with a sack of salt, not a pinch of salt. And lastly, Vieira has gone ahead and commented about the Portuguese players that he's going to face today as United takes on Arsenal. So let's see close to 400 likes much in this video, and let's start it off. We thank God for the gift of life, guys. Those who have gone to church, may God reward you for the footsteps we're going to to make for him. And those that are at home and obviously praying at home, God is omniscient. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. Now, let's start it off with the story coming in from Gona blog, because yesterday night we had not yet known what kind of injury is Thomas Partey suffering from, and we've been told that Gona blog, my understanding is that Thomas Partey suffered a groin injury. That is it. Now, if he has gone ahead to suffer a groin injury, it looks like he's going to be out for some 2 to 3 months, but we're waiting for confirmations coming in from the Arsenal side to let us know which extent of the injury Thomas Partey has gone ahead to suffer. And I'm still waiting for other people like Charles Schwartz to confirm, Simon Collins, Kay Kanak. Those are so close to the club of Arsenal to give us some detail onto the Thomas Partey injury. And the likes of David Austin, we are waiting to see whether there are ears on the ground as far as this story is really concerned. Fabrizio Romano also really issues such updates on the injury updates of these players. Sammy McBall, I'm talking about the tier 1 journalists telling us exactly what this is all about, because not until we get a credible source, obviously the Ghana FA is a credible source because they try to contact Arsenal whether Thomas Partey is fully full to include him in the squad that's going to play next weekend, and midweek. And they told them the player is injured, and the story was broken by the Ghanaian FA, and Thomas Partey got an injury on Thursday, 31st. So having held it inside Arsenal and not us knowing it is really something tricky as to why we never gotten to know about Thomas Partey picking up an injury in the training session of Arsenal. It would have been a story for Arsenal to obviously put out. But we understand, as they are going to obviously face Man United, they wanted to keep their cards on their chest to see to it that maybe when United plans to obviously face Arsenal and they are thinking to obviously eliminate Thomas Partey, and the game plan would have gone ahead to where they wanted it to be. And I think maybe Mikel Arteta wanted to break this story on the day of the game, that is today, but it broke out yesterday as the Ghanaian FA put out a story that he has gone ahead to obviously suffer an injury. But this injury is a groin injury. Others say 2 to 3 months, others say 3 to 4 months. How does that impact the team of Arsenal? Obviously, it shows you that the presence of Jorginho, Elneny, and Declan Rice is obviously going to come into play for that club of Arsenal. And to me, it might be a blessing disguise for Arsenal, because Arteta was experimenting a lot to play Thomas Partey on the right back. That experiment will never work. That experiment will never give Arsenal results, because Thomas Partey, to me, is one of the best central defensive midfielders in the Premier League. That is it. And if at all you are getting one of your best players in the Premier League, and you play him out of position, that doesn't make sense. And that experiment has costed Arsenal all these games. And you saw to it when Arsenal was playing against Crystal Palace. When they shifted Thomas Partey back in the midfield, and he played alongside Jorginho and Declan Rice, you saw to it that Crystal Palace couldn't go through the midfield of Arsenal amidst Arsenal being one man down. They couldn't go through the midfield of Arsenal, and they found it very, very hard to obviously penetrate. What they resorted to was to go to the wide play and bring in crosses. And because Arteta had brought on Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba plus Jakub Kiwior having a lot of aerial presence in his box, they managed to win that game because all the aerial duels were won by Arsenal, and the ball-playing players brought on Zinchenko, Jakub Kiwior and Jorginho just gave Arsenal a different shape altogether to start moving that ball and knock it around very, very well. So I think it might be a blessing in disguise on the other way, because we need to flip the coin. It's a big loss if at all Thomas Partey is out of the game. And me as a United fan, I'll be excited to see to it that Thomas Partey is out of this game. But I want to let you know that it's one of those things that Arsenal might benefit on after the international break, because they might even win the game today, because we'll know that Arsenal will go back to its shape. Ben White, Tomiyasu right back, and Gabriel Magalhaes might be welcomed into the central defense of Arsenal, or Jakub Kiwior, to play alongside William Saliba. And that's the ideal central defense we'd obviously want to have when you're playing a game of this magnitude, taking on Man United at Old Trafford. That is it. If you don't gonna hate, obviously, take this to the next level and give it the best they deserve, then it's high time you obviously get to know that it might be a blessing in disguise. Because maybe Arteta would have gone ahead to assure all the media criticizing him on playing Thomas Partey on the right back that I can play him against Manchester United and win that game. That is it. And I told you, if Thomas Partey plays on the right back and they bring Declan Rice, Kai Havertz and Odegaard in the midfield three, I think United might have an easy job to do. But if they get Thomas Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard in the midfield three, it's going to be something hard for the club of Manchester United. And now Thomas Partey has taken just minutes to his Instagram. 20 minutes ago, he has posted this artwork: Arsenal versus Manchester United, Emirates Stadium. That's what I was going to hate to post there. And that is going to hate to obviously leave some people in doubt whether the player is available. But I would like to let you know that even if he's not available, it's an artwork that is done for every Arsenal player to post on his Instagram. That is, even Julian Timber might go ahead and over post, that is it. So that is the case of Thomas Partey, and I believe I've gone ahead to dissect it very well. And it's high time you went ahead and told me, do you think it's going to be a blessing in disguise for Thomas Partey to get an injury? All not, that is it. Because Mikel Arteta not having Thomas Partey, he's going to play for like 1 or 2 months with Ben White as his right back, or Tomiyasu, and getting Jorginho or Declan Rice into the midfield. That is it, coming in from Ghana blog. Now, Arteta has gone ahead and obviously dealt with the people criticizing and doubting his players. This is what he said: more than 2 months with Odegaard. Gabriel Magalhaes was the same, and Ben White could not play as a fullback. Aaron Ramsdale wasn't good enough. Now you sign another goalkeeper, and it's a catastrophe. That's what Arteta really went ahead to say. And he went ahead also to say on Kai Havertz that... No, I want that of Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, where are you at? I think I've missed that out on Kai Havertz, but he said to the Arsenal fans that you should just give Kai Havertz love. Love the player, and obviously give him the best that he wants. And I think I should go on the website of Arsenal and read it exactly how he said it out. I want to get it exactly how he read it out. Where is it? Let me look for it here. I have to look for it. He went ahead and obviously said some things positive about this, the people criticizing his players. And obviously he talked about that when Odegaard came in through, people criticized him, but later came on through and obviously put in a very good performance. Ramsdale, people never believed in him, but obviously showed up the best from him. And now people are all after Kai Havertz, and he told them that you just need to show Kai Havertz love, nothing else but love, and obviously you're going to get the best from Kai Havertz very soon. And I think people are really being too rushy to obviously put in a verdict on Kai Havertz. That is it. He has done some positives, and what people think is that for every player to be good, he should go ahead and really score goals. Some players just give the presence of certain players, just obviously help players of Arsenal to obviously do the needful and obviously win the games. Maybe the reason as to why he brought in Kai Havertz, not all about even Kai Havertz scoring goals. It's all about Kai Havertz putting in what we call the best of runs and attacks in there for you, and maybe press, because ever since he came in through at the club of Arsenal, Kai Havertz has always been the best player to really win duels. And Arteta had the following to say. He said, "I'll tell you what I feel about him, that I love him. I see his qualities every single day in training. His work rate is excellent. A lot of things that he has brought to the team are so good. At the moment, what is missing is to put the ball in the net and to arrive on those chances, to have a different impact on the game. It's difficult to ask more of our supporters and our people, but my feeling is give him love and we will get the best of him. I think we have some very beautiful examples in the last years with players that we have given a lot of support and they have felt that love and they've just exploded. I'll stick to that because not everyone is going to be willing Arsenal to do well. The ones that have their heart and soul in this club want the best for the club. So let's do it because there is a lot there for him to give us. His football brain, how he understands when to move, how to move, when to stay, when to run, it's phenomenal. And it is true that he has played with 3 different people behind him on the left of defense. And they are the ones who have to make him good. These guys depend on the ones at the back. So Arteta has gone ahead and obviously thrown in a defense of the guy, that is Havertz, and the naturally building chemistry will obviously lead to him becoming better and better and better. So that is Mikel Arteta throwing in defense for Kai Havertz, and I've read this story from the Telegraph and they've gone ahead to let us know about it. And to me, I really back Mikel Arteta onto that because I think he's beyond criticism nowadays when it comes to his signings, because the only signings that Arteta's gone ahead to bring in and flopped, I think it's Willian. That is it. Even Tavares is not a flop because he showed his potential at Arsenal, but his discipline failed him at Arsenal. Look at Albert Sambi Lokonga is not a flop. The fact is he failed to compete or to outcompete the likes of Thomas Partey, yet Arteta had high prospects for the player. So to me, I don't blame him, and I will believe that it's the right thing to do. And let's not criticize the player in the names of Kai Havertz. I think you just have to give him time. You see, for me, I even support United, but I obviously believe that Kai Havertz is doing better, And Arteta has hinted the nail on its top that obviously what is remaining is simple. One thing is left. It's all about Kai Havertz to put that ball at the back of the net. Let's go to the game of Man United versus Arsenal. Fabio Vieira on the Portuguese players at Man United. Remember, United has Bruno Fernandes and Diego Dallo at Man United. He said, I know them very well from Portugal, of course, where I played against them. I played with Dallo in Porto. It will be a very good game against a good team. But as I said, we want to win the game, and after the game we can swap the shots. But in the game, I want to win. So Fabio Vieira is obviously reiterating his words, like he said about this game, that I'm here to win, and he's so much fired up to win a game of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below, especially Thomas Partey injury update issued. And do you think it's a blessing in disguise for Thomas Partey to get an injury? Arsenal. And what are your thoughts on Arteta throwing in a very huge defense for Kai Havertz? I know most of you are not going to like it because you believe that maybe Kai Havertz shouldn't be in your team, but stats are really showing different things all together. And lastly, what do you make about Fabio Vieira? If Thomas Partey is out, do you think Fabio Vieira should get a space or a starting position into the team of Arsenal as they take on Man United today? Because in the game of Fulham, he was my man of the match. Remember, I did all the player ratings and I gave him the man of the match because I believe he put in the required shift at the club of Arsenal and went in through and put up 2 assists. Created the penalty that Saka scored to level the game and put in that curling effort into the 18 yards box area that saw Nketiah tap that ball into the back of the net. So, what do you make about that? Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu Fikim, the Christians, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. It's a Sunday, and as it stands, we are just left with 6 hours for the encounter between Manchester United and Arsenal. Your thoughts for that game are welcome in the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. See you later as I bring you maybe another story that would have gone ahead to break down. But I think Liverpool, versus Aston Villa might be my match reaction next video, and then we'll get into the live video of Arsenal hosting Man United with the confirmed team news. Ciao, ciao.